We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
Business in Pennsylvania.
And business in Pennsylvania is our business.
We're heading out to Lawrence County next. Chuck in Newcastle wrote in. Chuck's not happy, by the way. Raising all the taxes does not work, he writes. Lower taxes, people have more money to spend. It's called trickle down. The people are tired of working hard just to get half of our money taken. I think he's a little upset with some of the tax proposals in your budget plan.
Yeah, and let me say, I think the a really important and I think good point that he's making is that an unfair tax system is just really a bad tax system. I'm trying to make our system fairer. I think you got to be careful about saying I don't want any taxes, because that means I don't want any public goods. I don't want schools. I don't want roads. I don't want bridges. And I think we're trying to strike that appropriate balance. And I think part of striking that appropriate balance for every citizen is to say, okay, let's agree that we'll pay for the things that we think we all need to use in common, and we're not going to give anyone a free ride. We're all going to pay for it. And if we all pay for it, we're not going to pay more than we should pay for it. And we're going to raise the money for those public goods like roads and bridges and schools. We're going to raise that fairly. We're going to allocate it fairly. So I think his frustration, and I share it, is that when we do the difficult task of proposing to raise taxes, we do it in a fair manner. And again, what I'm trying to do is both raise taxes because I want a severance tax for education. But a lot of what I'm doing, in fact, a lot of Republican members of the House voted for this too, to raise the sales tax and the income tax in order to rebalance the property taxes, to provide some property tax relief. I also want to provide some corporate net income tax relief. So I think his frustration, and I share it, is that we need a fair tax system so that those taxes that we do pay, we're at least paying just the right amount fairly for the goods that we really want to consume.
We're headed to Lebanon for the next question. This is an interesting one. A lot of topics we get repeat questions on. This is the first time this one's ever come up. David writes in, I self-excluded for life from the casinos in Pennsylvania about 6+ years ago. I wish I would have done it for 2 to 5 years. Can I be reinstated? If a person can be excused from a prison sentence, then can I be excused from a permanent excusal from the casino?
I can't do anything about it.
No,
I checked. I think he can. He has redress to the Gaming Control Board. Listen, that sounds that's an unusual thing. The legislation, when it was set up, how many years ago, had the idea that a citizen could say, "I don't want to go into a casino."
When you recognize you have a problem.
When you recognize you have a problem, you could do it permanently. You could do it for a 3 to 5 year period. If you did it permanently, it was almost like, okay, this is what you want, we'll do it permanently. You can't have it both ways. So the law was written to say, you've made this decision. If you want to change your mind, it's going to be tough. You got to go to the Gaming Control Board. They're the ones that will make the decision. So there's nothing I can do about that.
I looked it up too. And by the way, for anyone who's interested in this topic, there's information at gamingcontrolboard.pa.gov. The options currently are, if you want to exclude yourself, you can do 1 year, you can do 5 years, or you can do life. Now, on their website, they say for 1 and 5 year exclusions, once those terms are up, you can apply for reinstatement. But it doesn't mention anything about people who went for the lifetime.
Yeah, and that's why they call it lifetime.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you know, I don't want to get preachy to David in Lebanon, but David, if there's a reason you excluded yourself 6 years ago, you might want to stay on the list.